Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Stock Market Show. This is your host, Shades. As always, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. I'm dancing my head back and forth, side to side. But no, seriously.
This is incredible. I'm getting it.
You're getting what?
A stock.
What stock?
Okay, so let's go around. Let's go to the whiteboard. First time using the whiteboard in a long time. So the big problem here is people are looking to buy AI stocks. Okay, people want to buy AI stocks. There's this AI stock called Palantir. It went from 5 to 125. And so people want that. They want to capture the next AI stock that goes from 5 to 125. They want to make lots of money as quickly as possible because that's just how people are. They're greedy. If it were up to people, they would buy an AI stock tomorrow, and then like the next second after they just bought in, it goes from 5 to 125. Like if that was a possibility, people would love that. It took Palantir an entire year to get to 125 from a low of 5. It took a while. But still, people are motivated by money and greed. And they go into the stock market because they want to buy stock, hoping it appreciates in value as quickly as possible so they can make lots of money, maybe retire early, whatever their goals may be. So Apld decided, hey, we're, AI infrastructure, blah, blah, blah. Now we're going to do this. We're going to become a REIT, a real estate investment trust. And that's a change in the story. The story was AI. Now it's real estate. But I don't want real estate exposure. People are buying it for the AI, for the potential of Apld to do what? To go from 5 to 125. That's what people want. For those of you who don't know what real estate investment trusts are, they don't really get the kind of appreciation that you're going to get with AI. AI stocks, we've seen the hype. We've seen what happens with AI and quantum stocks. When they get a lot of hype, what happens? They skyrocket. Sometimes hundreds of percentages, sometimes 1,000%. That's what people want. But if you're just going to become a REIT, this is what REIT stocks do. At best, they slowly appreciate in value over the long term, and they give out a dividend. So maybe a 10-cent dividend, here a 20-cent dividend, maybe up here. They slowly, over the course of decades, start giving you a higher dividend. And if you're lucky, the price appreciates in value as well. Because some of these REITs, they just kind of go sideways, and you just collect the dividend. But that's not what people want, right? People were in Apld not because they don't want real estate. If they wanted real estate exposure, they'll just buy something else that's established. But keep in mind, when I say it goes up over the long term, I'm talking decades. Decades. People don't want to get rich in decades. They want to get rich, as soon as possible. That's why they want to jump into the AI and the quantum and everything else. And that AI and quantum, that's where the money's at anyways. So I don't blame them. And I also don't blame people for getting out. And you know what? They're just going to go rotate their money to some other AI stock. And the problem is, it takes decades. You didn't buy Apld for something that's just going to give you a dividend. And that it's going to take decades to appreciate in value from 5 maybe to 25 at best. Because these stocks tend to be slow movers. Once they become I'm not saying Apld is bad. It's just not for most people anymore. Again, if I just want to collect the dividend and want something that moves real slow to the upside while collecting the sweet dividend, there's just plenty of other stocks that are more established. Let me look at the profile. It's a technology company. Well, it should say it was a technology company because now they want to move into being a REIT. Stag is a REIT. And as you can see here, it gives out a dividend, a monthly dividend. And if we look at the monthly chart, it slowly appreciates in value over time from 4 to 40, a nice 10x, right? From low to high. But now it's been going sideways for 4 years now. It's just been going sideways up here. It's been going sideways between 32 and 42. And it's been doing that since 2021. So that's kind of like why that's why people don't want to hold REITs, because it's like you're not gonna see much value at a certain point in terms of share price appreciation. You're there for the dividend. And this is the monthly chart. As you can see, since 2011 it started at $4.55, and it took 11 years for this one to go from $4.5 to 42. That's not even 10x. $45 would be 10x. So that's what I mean. Like, why would I buy this? I want the AI exposure, and I want to buy the next Palantir. I want to buy that next stock, the next AI stock that's going to go from, a low of 584 to a high of 125. And I know it's moving like 10% plus today, and that's cool. We'll see what happens with it. But a lot of you have been asking me, what should I do? And the funny thing is, if you were in my Discord, and I know some of you are in my Discord, I alerted it at around 6s, and we flipped it. Because I did not want to hold through earnings. But on top of that, I also didn't like what I was seeing in the markets, right? We're in a bear market. Trump says something, the stock market dumps, falls. So we flipped it. I flipped it because I'm like, you know what? This probably might go lower. The market as a whole might go lower. Let's just get out. Let's take our $50 profit and we'll reposition. And if you followed me, then you wouldn't even be concerned. You wouldn't be, right now you'd be like smiling like, whew, thank God I followed this guy. And let me just pull up the Discord real quick so you guys don't think I'm making it up. As you can see in the Discord here, I typed in Apld, so it searches every time I mentioned it. And, let's see, Apld missed revenue by 18%. Yeah, that sucks. But here in the alerts room, maybe I'll add some Apld as well. 4/1/2025, so 15 days ago. I said, hey, maybe I'll add some. On the 4th of March, at 8:47 a.m., I added 100 Apld at 6.73, and then I flipped it. We sold it for a profit. We got out. We're like, you know what? Let's just get out of here. Let's just take the profit off of this one, and that's just we move on, right? Like, that's just how it is. We flipped it. We made our money, and ultimately, yeah, there it is. Added 100 Apld at 6.73, and then what? 14 days later, sold it off here in pre-market at 7.23. So I made a nice $50, whatever. But unfortunately, there's people that, like I said, there's people that did not sell because for some reason they follow me into the entry but not the exit, and obviously they're kicking themselves right now. Because if they had followed me, you'd be fine. You'd be like, oh, thank God I got out with shades, right? So I just wanted to show you that, like, I really wasn't jumping in as much as I had my eyes on it, but I thought, Trump's causing everything to fall, so I'm just going to play it safe and not jump into it right away. Wait for it to get cheaper. When the fundamentals change as well, when the fundamentals change or there's weakness, there's people who love stocks who have a good story and fundamentals. When this changes, the stock price goes down because there's people that they just get out. So I know there's a guy in my Discord who asked me, should I buy a call, a leap, which is just it's just really leverage, and they want to. I asked him what his thesis was, and it seems like he's holding a bag. I'm pretty sure he's holding a bag. He's down a lot, I'm sure, as well, probably like 50%. Because apparently he bought with me that one time, but I guess he didn't sell. So I don't know why people do that. They join my Discord, but they decide to do their own thing. So some people followed me into my Apld entry in the 6s, but some of them did not sell with me, and they're still holding, so they're down. And this guy wants to buy a leap because he believes that the tariffs, once they're gone, the stock market and Apld as a whole is going to start skyrocketing. It's just going to start climbing. And so he wants to buy a leap, which is options, and I don't do options. Screw that. But that's quite a gamble, because if it doesn't work out, he's just going to lose the entire value of that. So, and on top of that, he loses the money on the shares as well. And I asked him for his thesis, and he said tariffs, when they go away, things are going to go great. But the thing is, the stock dropped. Why? Why did it drop? Earnings is the reason why it dropped. It did not drop because of tariffs. If it dropped because of tariffs, then everything would have dropped 30%, 20%. But that's not the case. We did not drop because of tariffs. It dropped because of the company itself, earnings. And so when the company isn't living up to expectations and it's deciding to pivot somewhere else, you're going to get a big sell-off. So I don't know why his thesis is tariffs go away. I think it's just wishful thinking. Tariffs go away and, Apld will skyrocket, I guess. At least come back up for him. And he wants to take advantage of that with options, hoping to, make some money as well, I'm assuming. Because I don't know why else anyone would want to go with a leap. It's just so weird that he just suddenly wants to go into a leap after this drop. That's just odd. Like, why buy a leap? It's at 398. If it doesn't hold 3 here, because 3 is a big level, it's going to come down to 238. If it doesn't hold 2s, I mean, this thing can drop right back to 85 cents, because back then it did drop this low. As you can see, it hit a high of 34 in the future, and not in the future. In the past, it hit a high of 34, came down as low as 85 cents. If we look at the monthly, I mean, yeah, $3 is a big level. If it doesn't hold, you can see this drop. It'll get a nasty drop. It spikes, got rejected here at the same level, and then it just went lower, and earnings just accelerated that, I guess, at that point, and it just keeps going lower. So I wouldn't be too excited. Let's just wait. Let's see if tomorrow, you know what's funny? Let's see if tomorrow it's green. Tomorrow is more important. Today is not important. It's tomorrow that's more important. And you know what's funny is Moomoo is telling me right now, bearish continuation triangle. Start time April 15. Probability 50% of this playing out. And yeah. If it falls below 3, it's just... Today is not important. What's important is tomorrow. Buyers showing up today, cool. What happens tomorrow? That's the real question. I avoid holding through earnings in case something does happen. So I'm cool, but those who are holding, it's like, do you take the loss? But what if it comes back up? Then you would feel bad about taking the loss down here, because you're like, oh, if I had just held, it would have come back up for me, and I could have, broken even, and I'd be fine. And you'd be kicking yourself for taking the loss. On the other side of that is, well, what if it never recovers and it just keeps going down because nobody cares about the stock anymore? Then you're gonna, instead of selling for a 50% loss, you might end up selling for a 90% loss or more. And so instead of recovering 5K, you'd only be recovering maybe 1K, assuming you put in 10K. So it's like, whatever you do, it's like, it's gonna hurt. Unless it does come back up for you. So it's up to you what you want to do. This is just a message for anyone holding Apld, holding a bag on it. It's up to you what you want to do. But if I was in your situation, which I would never be in that situation because I just don't hold through earnings. And it's going to happen where companies just decide to pivot or do something that causes people to sell off. I know some of you are doubling down. That's what's funny. I know some of you doubled down as well. I would wait and see how it shakes out. But if it starts behaving like this, where it just keeps going lower and lower and lower over the next few months, if it just keeps doing this, it's time to get out at that point, because the stock at that point is proving to you it has no one that wants to hold it long. to the point where it's just selling off and just going lower, lower, lower. So if it starts behaving like that, I think that's when you just had to, you might have to cut it there. But so wait. I would say wait for now. But if it starts behaving like this, just dropping lower, dropping lower, it's time to cut it, in my opinion. Because if you wait too long, you'll just see it go down, hoping that one day it does this, but in reality, it just keeps going lower. And you're just watching it go lower and lower. So let's hope that doesn't happen. The best thing you can wish for is we start slowly climbing back